Africa has been well known as the least wealthy continent per capita and the second least wealthy by total wealth. Despite this low concentration of wealth, recent economic expansion and the large and young population make Africa an important economic market in the broader global context. For the development progress of Africa to easily be traced, it is important that we understand the continent's journey to improvement as far as economy and development are concerned. Africa is now known to be the fastest growing continent. Its current growth was driven mainly by economic governance on the continent and the private sector. Generally, the cost of starting a business experienced a decrease all over the continent. As an effect, the levels of trade and investment in Africa increased, with the annual rate of foreign investment increasing fivefold. It became apparent that greater regional economic integration on the continent will improve prospects for growth by having African producers build regional value chains, achieve economies of scale, increase intra-African trade, and become internationally competitive. However, Africa's inadequate infrastructure remained a major constraint to the continent's economic growth and development. Welcome to Think Rich Africa, the community which brings to you entrepreneurial, business, and personal development content to inform, motivate, and why not inspire you. We also want to introduce to you our special African development playlist, because we strongly believe that entrepreneurship, rather than global pity, is the key to Africa's growth and development. So, if you're African and you aren't subscribed to our community, you are indeed missing out. For a long duration, the African continent has lingered backward in infrastructure and development, but this is changing. With an expanding economy and flourishing young population in Africa, the construction industry has seen an efflux of mega construction projects stretching from huge hydro dams and road and railway networks to skyscrapers as compared to the past century. In the recent past, Africa has had a surge in projects that are switching the face of the continent. These projects are some of the big budget projects the continent has ever seen, and with their completion, they will greatly impact the economy of involved countries and the continent at large. With no further ado, let us go straight to discovering the 25 most expensive mega projects which are to be carried out or are already ongoing in Africa, all for the improvement and development of the continent's infrastructure and economy. Egypt's new administrative capital. Located 45 kilometers east of Cairo, outside the second Greater Cairo Ring Road, and halfway to the seaport city of Suez, is the administrative and financial capital of Egypt on construction. It was announced at the Egypt Economic Development Conference, held on the 13th of March 2015 by the Egyptian Housing Minister Mustafa Madbouly. The project is one of the economic development programs in Egypt and is part of Egypt's Vision 2030. The city, which hasn't been named officially, is mainly being constructed to relieve congestion in Cairo, which is one of the world's most crowded cities. The city has been designed to be made up of 21 residential districts and 25 dedicated districts. Its downtown has skyscrapers, including the Obelisko Capitol, designed in the form of a pharaonic obelisk, and will stand at a height of 3,300 feet. The city will also consist of a central park, artificial lakes, about 2,000 educational institutions, a technology and innovation park, 663 hospitals and clinics, 1,250 mosques and churches, a 90,000-seat stadium, 40,000 hotel rooms, a major theme park 4 times the size of Disneyland, 90 square kilometers of solar energy farms. It is being built as a smart city, and 45 billion USD has been used to transfer Egypt's parliament, presidential palaces, government ministries, and foreign embassies between 2020 and 2022. Most of the project and sale of the property is done by the Egyptian military. Even though critics argue that the project will only strengthen the power of the military, and they think that the money used for the project will rather have been used for the underprivileged in Egypt, the project is one which will not only put Egypt but Africa as a whole on the spotlight of booming development. Kenya's Konza Technology City. It is a large technology hub currently known as Konza Technopolis, planned by the government of Kenya, and is being built 64 kilometers south of Nairobi on the way to the port city of Mombasa. The project is a key driver of Kenya's national development plan called Kenya Vision 2030. It is being marketed by the Kenyan government through Kenya ICT Board. The project is aimed at attracting business process outsourcing, software development, data centers, disaster recovery centers, call centers, and light assembly manufacturing industries. The project also consists of building a university campus focused on research and technology, as well as hotels, residential areas, schools, and hospitals, science parks, a convention center, shopping malls, a health facility, and international schools are not left out in the project. The project, estimated to cost 1.2 trillion Kenyan shillings, involves a design team that consists of the Ministry of Information and Communication and the International Finance Corporation. Dangote's oil refinery. Currently under construction in Lekki, Nigeria, the Dangote refinery is an oil refinery owned by the Dangote Group. It is situated on a 2,500 hectare site and is supplied with crude oil by the largest subsea pipeline infrastructure in the world. The oil refinery will have a Nelson Complexity Index of 10.5, which is more than those in the United States or Europe. The refinery will run a number of processes which include crude distillation, residue fluid catalytic cracking, unicracking in mild hydrocracking mode, alkylation, naphtha hydrogen treatment, diesel hydrotreatment, continuous catalyst regeneration, Penex isomerization, SSDA infinite, LPG splitter, FCGG desulfurization, Mirox treatment, butamer processes, sulfur recovery, hydrogen plant, polymerization, and gas plant. In 2019, a specialist Dutch company installed the world's largest crude distillation column, weighing 2,350 tons at the Dangote's refinery. The $25 billion investment will have a capacity of about 650,000 barrels per day of crude oil when completed. The project will not just reduce the unavailability of crude oil in the continent, but will as well provide permanent jobs in the region. Noor City. Promising to redesign and redefine modern lifestyles in Egypt, the Noor City is a standard of Egyptian ingenuity and Talat Mustafa Group's most zealous project to date. It is a smart, eco-friendly city, marked as the first of its kind in the region, which according to the Boston Consulting Group has been positioned to be one of the biggest successes at scale. Noor City is located on the outskirts of Egypt's new administrative capital and is to be the turning point for technological integration in the urban space. The labor of love and intensive planning for this project involves several international design firms, from digitized workspaces to smart house applications. All quarters within Noor City have been founded on the latest 21st century technologies, with the goal to simplify and preserve comfortable living. The city has a wide assemblage of residences tailored to individual fondness. Everything within its premises can be controlled through mobile applications and smart watches. security, health and air quality within homes as well have been ensured with the installation of smart IoT systems within the property prior to purchase. Noor City is dedicated to sustainability and green living, and with its power source from solar panels. The city is able to run street lighting, e-bikes and electric vehicles with little or no carbon emissions. In fact, Noor City is one center of technology in Africa that will spotlight the continent on the world's technology stage. The South African green ammonia plant. Green ammonia has been discovered as a possible zero emission. So, in line with South Africa's plans to reach net zero emissions by 2050, UK-based Hive Energy and South African renewable energy development company, Built Africa, have teamed up with efflux, a Linde subsidiary, to round up a pre-feasibility for the $4.6 billion enterprise. The site for construction is located within the Koga Special Economic Zone, alongside the port of Nkura. The construction of this project will begin in the second quarter of 2024, and its first phase is planned to go live in the third quarter of 2025 at 20% operational capacity, equating to around 156,000 tons per year. The project aims to be fully operational by the fourth quarter of 2026, ramping up to its 780,000 tons per year. While working with its project partners on several financing opportunities, all the development is being funded by the Hive. The choice of South Africa for a green shipping hub is ideal due to its location and natural resources. The renewable energy production and storage component of the project alone is the biggest of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa. Therefore, the plant represents a significant development for the universal supply chain, allowing South Africa to meet both its domestic requirements and substantial international demand. The El Dabar nuclear power plant. From an initial agreement signed between Egypt and Russia on the 19th of November 2015, the El Dabar power plant is Egypt's first nuclear power plant located at El Dabar Metro Governorate, about 130 kilometers northwest of Cairo. It is designed to have 4 VVER 1200 reactors from the December 2017 preliminary contracts, making Egypt the only country in the region to have a Generation IS reactor. Applications for construction permits for Units 1 and 2 for this project were submitted in June 2021 by the Nuclear Power Plant Authority and were issued by the Egyptian Nuclear and Radiological Regulatory Authority in June 2022, while the application permits for Units 3 and 4 were submitted in December 2021 but haven't been issued yet. The Dangote Cement Plant. The Dangote Cement plc, formerly known as Obanjana Cement plc, was incorporated in 1992. Located in Obanjana, Koji, it is the largest in sub-Saharan Africa with 10.25 million tons per year capacity across 3 lines and an additional 3 million tons per year capacity currently being built. The company is engaged in the manufacture, preparation, import, packaging and distribution of cement and related products in Nigeria and has plants or import terminals in 9 other African countries. The Dangote cement plant was listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange in October 2010, and since August 2014, it has accounted for 20% of the whole market capitalization of the exchange. $300 million stakes in the Dangote cement project has been purchased by the Investment Corporation of Dubai. Between 2007 and 2012, $6.5 billion was invested by Dangote into the cement plant. With the current rate of development in this project, it is evident that in the nearest future, the plant will produce bigger than it has ever. Egypt's Residence 8 project. Established at the center of Egypt's new administrative capital, the Residence 8 project is one of the finest and most luxurious projects in Africa. Set up on a 23-acre space, its location connects between axes and main roads. The project seeks to suit all customers by providing a manifold of services and a high level of sophistication and luxury. The Residence 8 Sky AD comprises of diverse commercial units, a 40-meter lengthy walkway, and also an equipped club with facilities for recreation and enjoyment. It has been designed with unique touches which combine sophistication and civilization, as it overlooks attractive landscapes surrounding it from all sides. The residential units within it ranges from apartments to duplexes, beginning from 100 square meters spaces to 300 square meters. There are a variety of features in the Residence 8 Sky AD, which include water bodies of artificial lakes with different spaces, swimming pools of different sizes, spacious and open areas for outdoor relaxation, long tracks for joggers and more. The project is being carried out by the Skyscrapers development company, who so far has been doing a great job in line with achieving the goals of this expensive project. The Tanzania Liquefied Natural Gas Project. Also referred to as the Chinga Liquefied Natural Gas Project, it is a liquefaction facility in Lindi built from a decision which resulted from the discovery of natural gas in Tanzania. In August 2016, the Tanzanian President John Magufuli publicly pestered government administrators to fast-track and begin the project. The construction, which has started in 2022, is planned to be concluded in 2028. Also participating are parastatal agencies of the Tanzanian government, which include the Tanzania Petroleum Development Corporation, the Petroleum Upstream Regulatory Authority, and the Tanzania Electric Supply Company. The Mombasa-Nairobi Standard Gauge Railway. It is a standard Kenyan gauge railway that links the large Indian Ocean city of Mombasa with Nairobi, Kenya's capital and largest city. The railway runs in alignment with the narrow gauge Uganda Railway, completed in 1901. The standard gauge railway is among Kenya's most expensive infrastructure projects at a cost of $3.6 billion. Its prime contractor is the China Road and Bridge Corporation, with whom Kenya signed a memorandum of understanding, and it has so far hired more than 25,000 Kenyans. 90% cost of the project was taken care of by a loan from Exim Bank of China, while the remaining 10% by the Kenyan government. The Mombasa-Nairobi Standard Gauge Railway is owned by the Kenya Railways Corporation, which is state-owned. According to the Kenya Transport Ministry, a full handover of control and work posts in the railway to Kenyans will take place in 2027. The date was later negotiated to an earlier date, which was May 2022. The Kenyan Railroad Company has taken over the ticketing, security and refueling departments. The Yaru New Capital Compound. Developed by ATU and Global Developments, the Yaru New Administrative Capital was implemented as an integrated residential project which includes residential units and villas with all facilities and services in a captivating, dazzling and elegant manner. The project was also implemented through the latest modern technologies. The Yaru Compound Administrative Capital includes a shopping centre, cafes and restaurants, beauty salons, pharmacies, a wide range of supermarkets, cycling tracks, nursery for kids, game rooms and vast green spaces to ensure a healthy and pure atmosphere. It is equipped with optical cables, solar-powered infrastructures, a large number of surveillance cameras, integrated security systems, elevators and more. Apartment spaces in the Yaru new administrative capital range from 70 square meters to 240 meters squared, while villa space starts from 202 to 350 square meters. The Inga hydropower project. It is a sequence of 7 targeted hydroelectric power stations at the area of the Inga Falls in the Democratic Republic of Congo, located across the Congo River, about 93 miles upstream of where the river empties into the Atlantic Ocean. The project involves constructing a dam across the south of the Bundi River where it meets Congo, then diverting it to create a huge reservoir. It is predicted that the vertical drop, the volume and velocity of water flow at this site can support a series of hydroelectric power stations with generation capacity ranging from 4 to 8 gigawatts for a 40 gigawatts total in the whole complex. The project's current design allows for the independent establishment of the different power stations in the sequence, as well as the phased development of each station. The Lagos-Calabar Railway. Also referred to as the West-East Coastal Rail Line, it is a 1,400 kilometer standard gauge coastal railway from Lagos to Calabar. It connects Lagos states in southwest to the southern coastal cities in the south. The project originated from the administration of Goodluck Jonathan in 2014, but was only reawakened in 2016 when Muhammadu Buhari had an agreement with the Export-Import Bank of China to finance part of the project. In March 2021, the federal government of Nigeria got into an equal funding with Standard Chartered Bank for the construction of the railway with $11 billion. The route has been designed to consist of 1,402 kilometers of railway track, 22 railway stations with supplementary amenities, administrative space and level crossings. Safety systems, electrical systems, lighting systems and signaling systems will as well be installed, as the laying of tracks and electricity lines are among the other tasks. It will be made up of 2 phases, one between Calabar and Port Harcourt and the other between Port Harcourt and Lagos through Onitsha. The Mambilla Hydroelectric Power Station. Located in Kaikara village in Taraba State, Nigeria, the power station sits across the Donga River, consisting of 4 dams and 2 underground powerhouses. It is a 3,050 megawatts hydroelectric power project, which is being developed in Nigeria. The award of the construction contract to a consortium of Gizauba Group, Sinahydro and CGCOC Group was approved on the 30th of August 2017 by the Nigerian Federal Executive Council. This power plant project, which has been planned for 40 years, is expected to connect to 4 dams across the Donga River. The project has been budgeted at a cost of $5.8 billion, in which the Exim Bank agreed to lend 85%, while the federal government of Nigeria takes care of the remaining 15%. Due to technical complexity of the project, it is expected to take at least 7 years from beginning to end, with a more realistic date being 2030. The projected is expected to generate 50,000 temporary and permanent jobs. When completed, it will be the largest power generating installation in Nigeria and one of the largest hydroelectric power stations in Africa. The Bagamoyo Port. It is a $10 billion project backed by an Omani sovereign wealth fund. Constructed in Bagamoyo, Tanzania, the project is one of the largest government infrastructure projects in the country. It is to handle 20 million tons by 2045 and will be the largest port in East Africa when completed. The project also involves the construction of a special economic zone adjacent to the port. Also, to be constructed around Bagamoyo area are over 190 industries, including the manure processing industry, that will be put up by the government of Oman. When fully developed, the Bagamoyo Special Economic Zone would attract about 700 industries to become a strategic investment zone in East Africa. The port and its affiliate industrial zone is meant to address congestion at the old port and support Tanzania to become East Africa's leading shipping and logistics center. The Marine Drive project in Accra. Launched by Ghana's Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, the 241-acre redevelopment plan for Accra's waterfront dates back to the country's 60th anniversary of independence. The Marine Drive Accra project was brought about to transform the capital's city centre into a world-class tourism centre, which will in turn support Ghana's developing cultural and creative sectors. The project is expected to stretch from the Independence Square to the coastline, culminating in a coastal overlook with broad dramatic scenery across the Gulf of Guinea. 3 civic anchors, each commemorating Ghana's rich past, are to be placed across the public infrastructure. The first of these 3 is a new centerpiece public park to be located at the center of the promenade in honor of Ghanaian independence forefathers. To the east of the project will be a new cultural hub, the National Concert Hall, and a public conference center close to Nkrumah's monument. Lastly, the restored and refurbished Osu Castle and Grounds will serve as the western terminus of the promenade. This project will result in new commercial and exhibition centers, offices, a beach soccer pitch, and recreational and retail facilities in Ghana's capital, which will leverage the tourism sector and transform the economic entity of the country to the people's benefit. The Benin Automatic Solar Water Troughs. This project is aimed at providing cattle in Owiankam and Dam, 2 villages in the commune of Savalo in Benin, with water in all seasons. Also, the project will create a possibility for cattle herds to be settled during drought to prevent animals from destroying crops. The automated installations will be built around the 2 water reservoirs, Owiankam and Dam, and powered by solar energy. The project is among the Sustainable Livelihood Project, launched in 2018, which will support resilient agriculture, build sustainable livelihoods, and integrate climate risk considerations into national and sub-national planning processes, thereby reducing the vulnerability of communities to the adverse effects of climate change. The Nairobi Pinnacle. Located in Upper Hill on a 10,000 square meters piece of property southwest of the city center of Kenya's capital Nairobi, the establishment consists of 2 adjacent towers. A shorter tower with 46 floors to house 257 rooms, and a taller tower with 70 floors, which includes floors for commercial space, upscale rental retail space, and upscale residential apartment space. It'll also have other amenities like conference facilities, a gymnasium, a luxury spa, and an infinity pool. To allow choppers directly from Slash to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, which is 16 kilometers away, the taller tower will have a rooftop helipad. The project is a joint venture by Hass Petroleum, an East African petroleum products distributor, and the White Lotus Group, a Dubai-based investment firm. The budgeted construction cost for the Pinnacle Towers is $200 million to be raised by the developers. When completed, the skyscraper is expected to become the 2nd tallest building in Africa after Egypt's iconic tower and the 3rd tallest building in the Southern Hemisphere. The Mohammed VI Tower construction. Being constructed next to the Bourg River in Rabat, the Moroccan capital, the Mohammed VI Tower is a 250-meter high-rise mixed-use building occupying a total area of 102,800 square meters. The building is made up of a tower set on a podium to represent a rocket set on its launch pad, designed to be visible from a distance of approximately 50 kilometers all around. The tower is a 55 floors building which contains a luxury hotel, offices, high-end apartments, and a viewing terrace on the top floor. All its sections are accessible through a total of 40 lifts, 23 in the tower and 17 in the podium. According to the architecture expert for the project, the building is able to withstand not only the normal elements such as strong winds or seismic events, but flooding as well. It is mainly braced by concrete cores and steel porticos. In a way to increase its strength, a tuned mass damper will be installed in the last few floors at the top of the tower, purposely to reduce oscillations. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Formerly known as the Millennium Dam and often referred to as the Hydroelectric Dam, it is a gravity dam on the Blue Nile River in Ethiopia that has been under construction since 2011. It is located in the Benishangul-Gumuz region of Ethiopia, about 45 kilometers east of the border with Sudan. The basic objective of the dam is electricity production to mitigate Ethiopia's acute energy shortage and for the export of electricity to neighboring countries. With its planned capacity of 5.15 gigawatts to be installed, it will be the largest hydroelectric power plant in Africa when completed and among the top 20 largest in the world. The filling period of the dam with water was estimated to fall between 4 and 7 years, determined by the hydrologic conditions during the filling period. The dam's main contractor is the Italian company Webuild, handling the project at an estimated cost of close to $5 billion. The dam's first electricity production took place on the 20th of February when it was delivered to the grid at a rate of 375 megawatts. The design of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam consists of 2 dams, 3 spillways, power generation and distribution houses, early power generation units, siltation and evaporation outlets, and more. Chibika, Morocco. Approximately 400 kilometers south of Agadir, adjacent to the island of Fuerteventura, with a total land area of 15 million square miles, is Chibika, originally known as Chibika Sahara Atlantique. The project's master plan reflects a modern oasis of harmony characterized by a Western Moroccan cultural blend. The project offers world-class hotels, a mix of villas and apartments, atmospheric raids, and even customizable mansions in the Kozor neighborhood. Like all other signature towns, Chibika will feature state-of-the-art facilities involving a marina, shopping, and dining outlets, as well as a Medina-style handcraft center and medical facility. Designated in a new tourism integrated zone, the Chibika Morocco project, which is run by the Oud company, is in line with the Moroccan government's vision for sustainable development. The project aims at developing a virtuous circle of social and cultural development in the provinces of southern Morocco, encouraging local people to participate in it. The Zimbabwe Nyabira Solar Farm. The 25 megawatts Nyabira power plant in Zimbabwe, which has been generating power since August 2019, is set to undergo an expansion that will increase its output to a 10-fold turnout. The solar plant, which was established and controlled by Centragrid Energy, is located in Mashonaland, 40 kilometers west of the capital city of Harare. As part of the impact investment strategy of the National Social Security Authority, the project is geared towards enabling economic growth. It is focused on renewable energy, agricultural value chain, and infrastructural development, just to name a few. The expansion is being funded by NSSA and Old Mutual Plug to the tune of $30 million USD. The original Nyabira solar farm can light up 700 high-density houses, but after expansion, it will be able to light up 7,000 high-density houses, following the tenfold increase in output. The project is in line with NSSA and Centragrid's strategy of augmenting the government's plan to provide Zimbabweans with more access to electricity. The smooth partnership so far is providing clean energy to the local communities and the nation at large. The Zunduru Hydroelectric Power Station. It is a 700 megawatts hydroelectric power plant undergoing construction in Niger State, Nigeria. It is located across the Kaduna River near the town of Zundaru, which lies about 66 kilometers by road northwest of Minna, the capital city of Niger State. The Zundaru Hydroelectricity Power Plant is Nigeria's second largest electricity power station after the Kainji Hydroelectric Power Plant, which has a 760 megawatts capacity. Its design calls for a roller-compacted concrete dam measuring 233 meters in height, which will create a reservoir capable of storing 10.4 billion metric cube of water. The generated energy will be sent out through 2 voltage lines, and the power will subsequently be integrated into the Nigerian electricity grid. The project is reported to cost $1.3 billion. The power station will add 2,640 gigawatt-hour to the Nigerian grid annually, which is equal to approximately 10% of the installed national generation capacity. With all these expensive mega projects being planned and carried out in Africa, it is evident that the continent has seen an era of continuous advancement to meet the requirements to be called a developed region of the globe. All these infrastructural projects mentioned do not just mean development for their particular areas, but for Africa and the world at large. To every African who has a project for the development of the continent in mind, but is reluctant to bring it out, take our message for you today as a challenge. Africa is the future home of many wonders yet to be brought out by great minds. So, bring out and bring up that project today and be counted among. If you enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to subscribe and become an official member of our growing diverse community here on Think Rich Africa. Thanks for watching and see you on another exciting video.